Seminar on Vision of the Millennium, Conscience Ideology in the Poetic Corpus of Tagore, presented by myself, PhD scholar Ebrahm Muhammad Ali Raajeh, supervised by Professor Dr. Balaji, Navle, Anandrao. First, I am going to put in front of you a proper presentation in slides according to the limited time. Then we will go to free presentation to discuss these ideas. Born in 1861, Rabindranath Tagore received the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. These are the contents of these presentation slides, starting with the introduction and ending up with findings and conclusion. Introduction. Rabindranath Tagore, a luminary in the world of literature and a visionary thinker, utilized his poetry to articulate a profound ideology rooted in human conscience, universalism, and spiritual introspection, and so on and so forth. Domain of conscience notion. In Tagore's poetic universe, the notion of conscience extends beyond mere personal ethics to encompass a broader sense of collective responsibility. Also, Tagore's conscience ideology is deeply intertwined with his exploration of spirituality and the pursuit of truth. Conscience ideology, interconnectedness of humanity and nature. At the heart of Tagore's poetic vision lies a profound understanding of the interconnectedness of humanity and nature. Conscience ideology. In the poem titled The Same Stream of Life, Robin poetry enhanced the idea of universal humanism in this poem, as we can see. Conscience ideology in the poem leave this chanting and singing and telling of beads. We can see that Rabindranath Tagore poetry enhance the idea of spiritual and ethical ideals in this poem, and also in the poem of titled Here is Your Footstool, and there rest your feet where live the poorest and lowliest and lost. Conscience ideology in the poem titled or started with the line, Your sunbeam comes upon this earth of mine with arms outstretched. We can see that Rabindranath Tagore in this poem enhanced the idea of nature and harmony. Also in the poem titled or started with the line, Yes, I know this is nothing but your love, O beloved of my heart. In this poem, he enhanced the idea of nature and harmony. Conscience ideology. In the poem titled or started with the line, Where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Until the end of the poem, we will understand or get the idea that Rabindranath Tagore in this poem enhances the idea of freedom and social justice. Also, in the poem titled You Have Made Me Known to Friends Whom I Know Not, in this poem we can find out that Rabindranath Tagore enhances the idea of cultural synthesis. From these poems, from the previous poems, we can end up with the following findings or outcomes. Number one, universal humanism, as we saw in the first poem. Second, spiritual and ethical ideals, as we notice in the second poem. Nature and harmony, as we saw in the third poem. Social justice and freedom, as we saw in the fourth poem or example. Cultural synthesis, as we saw in the final poem. Then we can come up with the conclusion that vision of millennium. Conscience ideology in Rabindranath Tagore poetic corpus. What is like conscious ideology when it comes to poetry of Rabindranath Tagore? If we look deeper and inside the poetry of Rabindranath Tagore, we will find it very rich with profound philosophy and deep thought when it comes to conscience ideology. What is conscience ideology? It is, you can say, it is synonymous to this era humanism. It is humanness. It is about interconnectedness. It is about the harmony of human being as a whole. Whenever you open the poems of Rabindranath Tagore, and you will find upon turn of your head, and whenever you look, you will find this idea of interconnectedness and harmony. For example, when we read the same stream of life that runs through my veins night and day, runs through the world and dances in rhythmic measures. And he went on until he reached like, I feel my limbs are made glorious by the touch of this world of life. And my pride is from the life throb of ages, dancing in my blood at this moment. You can see and you can notice and you can smell, sense with all your senses, the interconnectedness, the meaning of human unity, the meaning of human oneness. Rabindranath Tagore believed that within every human being, there is, you can say, a moral compass that directs him towards goodness, toward love, towards beauty. When we read his poems, we can sense this. So let me give example. For example, when he said that if we cite song offerings, the first poem and the last one, the first poem we will find it like introduction, and the last one like it is like the conclusion or of his of ideology, which is like comes in coherence, like he has like kind of unity of idea. The first poem when he said like, you've made me endless, such as your pleasure.
This frail vessel you empty again and again and fill it ever with a fresh life. You can see how he sees human being, you've made me endless such as a blazer. This frail vessel, you empty again and again and fill it ever with a fresh life. This little flute of a reed, human being like frail vessel, little flute of a reed. This little flute of a reed you've carried over hills and dales and have breathed through it melodies eternally new. Look, when he looks at the human being as a flute of a reed, only came to this life to sing. For he says in other poems, I am here, in other poem, I am here to sing you songs. In this hall of yours, I have a corner seat. In your world, I have no work to do. My useless life can only break out into tunes without a purpose. Without a purpose, he sees, we can here notice that he sees the purpose of life. The purpose of life is to sing a song. What does it mean to sing a song? Mean to spread happiness. Whenever every person who listen or hear a music, of course, will get happy. This is the purpose of life, to be happy and to make others happy, to sing a song. And singing a song means nothing but goodness, nothing but compassion, nothing but beauty, nothing but love. And these are the ideas of his poetry: love, beauty, humane oneness, humane singularity, humane interconnectedness, humane harmony. Also, when he came, when Rabindranath Tagore defined beauty in one of his poems, very well known. Beauty is Truth's smile when she beholds herself in a perfect mirror. Beauty is in the ideal of a perfect harmony, which is in the universal mind. Beauty is in the ideal of a perfect harmony. Look how Tagore in his poems look at the human being. They should live in harmony. They should live in peace to one another. And all these ideas, by the way, it is about raising consciousness. For our topic, by the way, it is about conscience ideology. And he tried to raise or to focus on this conscience. For conscience, like a human being, we see now we have diverse culture, we have various history, but we have like one conscience, and conscience in Rabindranath Tagore, as I see it, is synonymous to humanism, humane oneness, unity, unification, interconnectedness. For example, when Rabindranath Tagore also says, life of my life, I shall ever try to keep my body pure, knowing that your living touch is upon my limbs. I shall ever try to keep all untruth out of my thoughts, knowing that you are the truth which has kindled the light of reason in my mind. Look at this line. Look, he started, life of my life, I shall ever try to keep my body pure, knowing that your living touch is upon my limbs. It is not only about the body, the physical body. Also, thought is more concerned to be pure. I shall ever try to keep my life of my life. I shall ever to keep all untruths out of my thoughts, knowing that you are the truth which has kindled the light of reason in my mind.